All right, here we go. We're going to watch Darren Daily. I don't know if you guys watch him anymore. I don't watch it as daily as I used to. Let's put it that way. But I do watch them. And this one is actually from yesterday. And it was really good. Yeah, here we go.
An elderly Florida lady did her shopping and upon returning to her car, found 4 males in the act of leaving with her vehicle. She dropped her shopping bags and drew her handgun, proceeding to scream at the top of her lungs, "I have a gun and I know how to use it. Get out of the car now." The 4 men did not wait for a second threat. They got out and ran like mad. The lady, shaken, then proceeded to load her shopping bags into the back of the car. Then she got into the driver's seat. She was still so shaken that she could not get her key into the ignition. She tried, and then realized why. It was for the same reason she had wondered why there was a football, a frisbee, and bottles of juice in the front seat. A few minutes later, she found her own car parked 4 or 5 spaces farther down. She loaded her bags into her actual car and drove to the police station to report her mistake. The sergeant to whom she told the story couldn't stop laughing. He pointed to the other end of the counter where 4 pale men were reporting being carjacked by a mad, elderly woman described as white, less than 5 feet, glasses, curly white hair, carrying a large handgun. No charges were filed. This is a true account recorded in the police log of Sarasota, Florida. Here's another. On a special teacher's day, a kindergarten teacher was receiving gifts from her pupils. The florist's son handed her a gift. She shook it, held it over her head, and said, "I bet I know what it is. Flowers, right?" "That's right," said the boy, "but how did you know?" "Just a wild guess," she said. The next pupil was the candy store owner's daughter. The teacher held the gift over her head, shook it, and said, "I bet I can guess what it is. A box of candy." "That's right, but how did you know?" asked the girl. "Just a lucky guess," she said. The next gift was from the liquor store owner's son. The teacher held the box over her head and noticed that it was leaking. She touched a drop of the leakage with her finger and tasted it. "Is it white wine?" she asked. "No," the boy replied. The teacher repeated the process, touching another drop of the leakage onto her tongue. "Is it champagne?" she asked. "No," the boy replied. The teacher then said, "Well, I give up. What is it?" The boy replied, "A puppy." So what is the lesson here today? Be careful jumping to conclusions too quickly and being overconfident in your assumptions. Maybe, just maybe, you need to give it a beat or two before reacting, and perhaps you need to ask a few more questions before making assumptions. Tell us a time when you made a wrong assumption or reached too fast to a conclusion in a situation. Tell us that in the comments below.
How was that? I thought it was funny, entertaining, and really got the point across. First thoughts? Anyone? Ooh, I see there's stuff in the chat. Yeah, so funny with the old lady. So I thought it would be great to talk about because this applies to every one of us, right? Because we've all done it. We've all been the person making assumptions too quickly of other people. We judge other people in other situations when in reality that's us writing their story for them, and in so doing writing a story for us, right? And this can apply to your business, this can apply to your personal life. Like, it's something that the better we can grow in this and the less we allow ourselves to make assumptions or judgments of others, the more peace we have, right? Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. The more peace we have as a person, the better our relationships are, the less we're triggered by other people, the less we have churn, is what I like to call, because I can get churn around other people. And that churn, that anxiety, that negative emotion is all based on a story I'm telling myself that's usually based on assumptions I'm making. And it really sabotages you when you say that you want to have a business and help other people, but then go make assumptions about who you should talk to or not talk to. Ford Focus keys open any for focuses near them? Well, that's a terrible oversight. That's hilarious. Anybody want to say anything or chime in?
It's just so easy, especially in this business, to make assumptions. I have like this powerhouse of a couple that has been on my really big and scary list for a while. And I kept telling myself, why they're not going to want to talk to me. They're not going to want this. They love the gym, which is great. Like, they don't have to do Beachbody like at their house, right? But I'm like, they're already posting their workouts. They're like this super in shape couple. They would be a powerhouse. And I've been watching them for months, assuming that they wouldn't want to. And finally, night before last, I reached out. And he was like, what did he say to me? He was like, I'll totally take more information. I'm going to bed. But he was like, contact me on Friday, because he's a trucker. And so he's gone. And he's like, I want my wife to be around. And he goes, so message me on Friday. And he goes, but I'm not doing any pyramid scheme. And I said, well, good, because those are illegal anyway. And he goes, okay, perfect. But he goes, message me on Friday. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of didn't know what to do, because I had already written the whole story for him and made this whole assumption. And all of a sudden he was like, yeah, cool, let's on Friday. And all of a sudden I was like, okay.
I want to hear what your invite was. Since like you had made this story and then you sent him something and he said, okay.
Yeah. Let me find it. I'm a little messy, but it'll still be delicious. Okay, I said, the last month I have had your and your wife's name on my freaking list to reach out. So here I am. I watched this couple in our team become complete powerhouses and create residual income for their family. And I know you two would freaking kill it in this business. It would be incredible. Anyway, if you're interested, I'll send you information, because I'd love to chat. And he was like, I'm headed to bed. I'm not doing a pyramid scheme, but I'm totally interested. Residual income sounds awesome.
Okay. So what I would do is, before sending him any other info, dig into why. Like, what do they want?
And I'm going to do a Zoom, because I want to see them both face to face and talk to them about their story too, of like, why
are they into health and fitness?
Yeah, like, why are they into health and fitness? What motivates them to do that? What do they love about health and fitness?
Yeah. And then, like, what are their goals and dreams for their life? And then I usually like to ask people, like, do you want to do anything about that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you even want to change anything? Because right there you find out if there's someone who just wants to complain, or if there's someone that actually wants to change, put in the work.
Well, and I've been watching him for a while. They just built a new house. He makes a ton of money doing trucking stuff, but how cool would it be that maybe he could do less trucking? Yeah. And, they love their cars and they love their toys, and they're always like buying fun stuff. And I was like, how cool would it be to be able to do that and maybe be home more?
That's awesome. Good job.
I was just shocked he responded, because I had written this whole story for him, and he was like, residual income. And I knew it. I was like, I'm going to write him about residual income, because he's not going to care about commissions, especially. He's not going to care about building a team. He's already said he doesn't want the whole pyramid scheme, which is funny to me. So I was like, I know, though, who can say no to residual income?
Yeah. Or extra cash.
Yeah. So I was like, what about residual income? Because who couldn't benefit from that? So anyway, but him and his wife have been on my list for months, and I've been just terrified to reach out, because I've written this whole story.
Yep.
And even when I sent the invite, I sent it and I closed out my messages, and I just like sat there in a ball, and I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I sent the big scary message. And he goes, oh, is he typing back? And I was like, I don't want to know.
Yes, I've done that before.
And then because I had written the whole story that he was going to write me back like, screw you, don't talk to me, like something awful. And of course he was like, yeah, sure. Like, okay.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Good job. Proud of you.
Thanks.
It feels good when you do something big and scary like that in your business. That's when you know you're doing what you should be doing. Anybody else want to share a story of making assumptions?
I have to actually hop off. I have to run real quick, but I wanted to put on there. I'm sorry, I'm getting dressed. So, anyway, I think for me, there's a lot about this business and assumptions, not just with people in general, but situations,
Oh, yeah.
that it has taught me to ask questions and to think about the right questions. And so instead of jumping in, it's actually taught me to ask questions about myself and what my intentions are and what I need to be doing. And it really gets you out of this me phase and more into that serving phase. So I think I really liked that for that reason. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm thinking in a hurry too.
Ask better questions. Like Tony Robbins said yesterday, when you ask a lousy question, you get a lousy answer.
Yeah. And it, I don't know, I feel like I'm at a point to where I'm digging deeper, so my questions are leading to more places.
Oh,
and
sure.
and it's like, okay, to where I ask out loud. I'm a person that asks questions out loud, not necessarily for anybody else to answer, but that's just how I work things out. As I think out loud.
Yep.
But
I love it.
But yeah, Shay's actually taught me a lot too. And you going through and watching things and going, how did I get from A and B and then come up with Y? So, sometimes you have to stop and go back and go, oh, there's something else I didn't see. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think it's really good, and it's a really good thing to learn in this business moving forward, and just knowing that everyone is on the same common ground, equal ground. I mean, when you're going out and looking for prospects in joining you. And yeah, anyway.
100%. Man, I mean, and here's the thing, like our success and the lack of it, or our conversations, or our life is basically a reflection of the kinds of questions we're having, the kinds of questions we're asking, which all goes back to the beliefs we have. And I actually am going to do a podcast on this probably today, talking about how everything in our life is a reflection of our current beliefs. Like you have what you have based on what you believe you can have, based on what you believe is possible for you. And how beliefs are just thoughts we choose to think over and over and over again. And I would also say beliefs are questions we ask, like the guy said in the video, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, why does this always happen to me? That's a lousy question. And when you ask a lousy question, your brain is going to come up with a lousy answer, like, because stuff like this always happens to you. Peter said it last night on our date night, because I said, he was telling me a story when he was like 15 and something happened and he got in trouble, and he wasn't the one that did something wrong, but he got in trouble. And I said to him, I was like, and you were the one that got in trouble? And he goes, yeah, because it's me we're talking about. And I was like, whoa, that should not be what you're putting out there. Like, reframe that. Like, because when you do that, now your brain is going to go look for more proof of that. Oh, this is me, so I always get crap. Like, you're going to find the brown, you're going to find the brown, you're going to find the brown, you're going to find the crap. So it's all connected. And when we ask lousy questions, our brain comes up with lousy answers. So it's all about, how can I ask this in a way that serves me? How can I ask a better question that's actually going to help me grow or learn or get the answer that I actually need not just a crappy answer to make myself feel better for my crappy result right now. Does that make sense? I'm sitting here like, anybody else want to say anything real quick before we're done?
Well, I was just going to say, it goes back to that whole law of attraction thing too. You see what you want to see, really. And I used to go to this really big women's conference in LA every year. I haven't gone in like 2 years, but it is amazing.
Really?
And yeah, it's called She Rises. It's through this church called Oasis Church in LA, which is one of my friend's churches.
Okay.
And it's huge, like thousands of women. We used to be at the Dolby Theater and they closed it out. Like it was packed.
I love
And
that.
it is the most amazing women's conference ever. And so on their Instagram, they posted the other day, if we look for fault in someone, we'll find it because it's not that difficult. If we look for mistakes, we'll find them. But how about if we take the time to look for the wondrous things and the great things in each other? Because it's so easy to look at life and be like, today sucks because I suck, because my situation sucks. And it's so easy to just like go down that little spiral tunnel. And I've done this even in this business many times of my business is slow because I suck, because nobody likes me, because my invites are terrible. You know, like you start doing this thing and then it's like, whoa, hold on. And that's when you have to realize to stop your thoughts and go, hold on, I can control my thoughts and I'm going to go over here with them. And I'm going to change things up and find the positive. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the positive in everything. And so it is just so, yeah. And so it is so easy, but you see what you want to see. And there are people on my Facebook that have something negative every single day. Their life is falling apart every single day. And I just want to be like, sister, calm down. Your life cannot be that awful. I mean, I've been the single mom living on food stamps, like living in government housing. I've been there. Doesn't mean that your life is terrible, and it doesn't mean that your life has to stay there, but it's easy to let your thoughts stay there. So.
No, I always want to tell them, like, you realize you keep creating this, right? Because you're talking about it this way, you keep creating this.
Yeah.
And perception is reality. And I love the life coach lady because, again, she talks about there is no good or bad thing that happens. It's only good or bad based on your perception, which a lot of people, when I first heard that, I was like, what? Because she's like, that means you have to even go along with like serial killers or like babies, you know, dying, being aborted. Like there is no good or bad thing until you add a perception to it. She goes, but this is true because, she goes, a lot of people on 9/11 rejoiced. And a lot of people were horrified. Why? Because of their perception. And she goes, now listen, we want to choose to look at things as bad for things that are truly bad for us, right? Like, but that's your choice. She's like, so own that you are choosing to see 9/11 as bad. It's your choice to see it that way. And so she's like, and you, that's great. You totally can, like you should have things. But I love that because that is like my classic go-to when someone wants to be like, what do you mean this isn't like a terrible thing for me? I'm like, well, here's the deal. I guarantee somebody else has this exact same situation going on for them and they see it differently. Like you're not the only person out of 7 billion people on the planet to be going through what you're going through. And that's what Brendan Burchard said to me when I was at his conference and I was a year into recovery, and he was like, you're not the exception. Like you're not a victim. You're not the first person to go through this. And so like you get to either decide that this was something terrible and keep this like victim attitude, or you can change your perception. And that really hurt. It really hurt. It made me mad at first. And then I was like, oh, that's true. I can't argue with that. I'm not the first person to go through this. And so he was like, that's good news. If other people can figure it out, you can too. Like if other people can change their perception, you can too. So I was like, okay.
I was just counseling somebody yesterday, and that's what I told her. Is I was like, "Do you know that you're not special?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "What?" And I go, "Seriously, your situation is not special.
Right.
Your life is not special. Like, what is happening to you is not a you situation." But I said, the cool thing is you get to wake up tomorrow and decide what your life looks like and how you deal with this issue. Because the way you're dealing with it now will not be positive. But the other thing too that I think that a lot of people struggle with, and this is just from what I see in my other job, is thinking that we know what's best for everybody else. So like we can see somebody's situation and go, oh, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be, that is not okay for them. But
Right.
really, we have no idea like what
Right.
God's plan is for their life. We have no idea the whole story. We just see a part and we're like, whoa, hold on. You shouldn't be doing that. And I'm not saying like harmful, drugs, or like something crazy, but we see certain situations and it's like, oh, that's not good for you. But really, we don't know the whole situation, but it's so easy to jump to that assumption of that's not good for you. You can't do that. You're, not in the right situation, where really it's like, hold on. We don't know what's good for anybody.
Right.
What we can do is just offer like advice and offer an ear and offer to be there for somebody. But I just think it's funny how many times, and I've done it too, we all do it, where it's like, wait, that's not good for you. And it's like, hold on, I'm not God. I don't know what's good for your life.
Well,
But
we
I'm not judging you for it.
become our brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like, since when did that become our job? Like, that's
I don't
not-
want that pressure. I don't want to keep track of your life too. I can't even keep track of my own life.
Okay, Shay, I just noticed your sweatshirt. This girl ain't going anywhere. I love it.
Yeah, my Lauren Daigle shirt and my Abiding Life
Aw.
Ministries cup.
Okay. I was like, now, is that a positive affirmation? When I first read it, I was like, wait a minute. We should reframe this. But I realized.
Girl ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right in this spot.
Yeah. All right. Well, if nobody else wants to share any thoughts, that was the thought for today.
I actually,
Halloween. Oh yeah.
oh sorry, I actually wanted to share a win, you guys.
Yay.
The job position that I applied for, I got it.
Yay.
Oh, yes, I am gonna actually be moving states. So
Where are you
yeah,
going?
I'm gonna be going to Seattle, Washington, and I'm gonna be
Oh.
training. Yeah, it's so cool. I'm gonna be training for an executive chef position, which is amazing.
That's huge.
So yeah, I'm gonna be working at Hyatt Regency Seattle. So that's really cool.
That is.
I got the position, so it's very exciting.
Oh, congrats. I'm really excited for you.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys.
Woohoo!
Yay, we did
Welcome,
it!
Linda. Woohoo! On to
Oh,
new
yay.
adventures.
I yeah, very exciting. I wanted to share that with you guys because I had told you guys last time that I had applied and I was like feeling bummed out. And honestly, I want to say that like this whole like week that I was waiting, like honestly, I was bummed out. Like I wasn't really feeling anything. Like I was just in my own thoughts of negativity. Like I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. They're gonna pick somebody else. Like so, I just kind of kept like sabotaging myself, and I wasn't feeling myself. Like I even talked to Shane. I was like, I feel off. Like, I feel very like low. Like my energy vibration was just very low throughout like a whole week. So, but yeah, and then yesterday I just decided to just show up positive. I was just like, nope, today I'm just not gonna let it get to me. I haven't heard anything from them, so. And then that morning, I actually got an email from them at 8 in the morning, and then they were like, oh, we want to do a second phone interview and stuff. So, and then by 12, like they had already offered me a position, and I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like the day that I decided to show up positive, like literally everything changed. So this is crazy. It was really, really crazy, but everything kind of just snowballed and everything just literally fit into place. Like just by changing my attitude, I feel like just the aspect. I was like, you know what, even if I do get it or if I don't get it, like I'm gonna keep pushing. So
Yeah.
yeah, and you guys, I did it. It's so exciting.
I
So
love it.
excited.
I'm so proud of you. Good job.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Washington and Seattle is so fun. You're going to love it.
I know, and it's actually a new property too. This property has barely been open for a year, and it's literally like one of the biggest properties that I think I'm gonna work at, because the one I work at right now has like 500 plus rooms. This one has like 1,200 plus rooms.
Yeah.
So it's a humongous property. So I am super excited. Like the family, we're all moving down there. So it's exciting. It's definitely a huge change, but I'm willing to do it, you know? So yeah,
fun.
it's so awesome.
Awesome.
I wanted to
So
share
fun.
that.
Good job. I'm so excited for you. Good job. When do you move?
I am actually starting in January. So I have like 2 months or so to get everything packed up and get ready to go.
Yay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody go have an awesome Halloween. Stay warm if you're in Colorado. It's freaking freezing out here. Not my favorite kind of Halloween.
And it's the last day of the month if you need to get your Success Club points in.
Yes. And you can do it. You can make it happen in only a few hours if you need to. If you decide that you can make it happen in only a couple of hours. All right. Reach out if you need any help. Okay. Talk to you guys later.